Okay, so in this part of the project, you are now going to take a look at the carpet designs you have, and you're actually going to come up with an equation for for any given figure's perimeter. So, right, in this in the tables that we made, okay, you were able to figure out the perimeter for figures 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 by counting. And then hopefully you were able to figure out the perimeter for figure 20 um by predicting what it would be. Hopefully you discovered some kind of pattern. Now, we're looking at a design for a carpet, right? Something that would cover a large amount of space. So it doesn't really make sense to say have figure 100 and then like try to draw it and count every single one of these edges just so we know the perimeter. That would take too much time. What we really want to do is come up with some kind of model or some kind of equation so that we can just say, well, for figure 100, I know the perimeter is blah, blah, blah units, right? We don't have to sit there and draw it and count. It's just a model that can help us know what that perimeter is given the figure number. So for example, let's take a look at the figure number. And based on the figure number, we have some perimeter. So our figure number is our input, and our perimeter is our output. Okay, if I told you a figure number, you should be able to give me a perimeter, right? Input is the figure number, perimeter is the output. Now, for the first one, when my input, so let's look at perimeter equation. So when I look at figure number 1, so my input is 1, right? That spits out an output of 12 units. So when I tell you your figure number is 1, the output for perimeter is 12 units. If I say the input equals 2, my output is then 24 units. So there's something happening. If you were hopefully able to figure out what the perimeter is figure 3, and we can go ahead and, count that. And if you zoom in, you can see you've got 1, 2, 3, and then 3 of that is 9, plus 3 is 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. So perimeter is actually 36 units. When your input is 3, then you get an output of 36 units. So as you can see, maybe you're noticing some kind of pattern, but try to come up with an equation that given any input, you would get the output. So I'm going to do an example. So for example, if I said, well, how about this? Every input I have, I'm going to take any input I have and multiply it by 7. I'm just guessing here, right? And that will give me my output perimeter. Okay, so this is input times 7. Well, we can test if that's right. Well, if my input is 1, so if my input is 1, and I multiply by 7, I would get 7 units. Clearly, this is incorrect because when the input here is 1, my output is 12 units, right? So this is incorrect. So my model, my equation for perimeter is not the right equation. Okay, so you want to come up with some equation that describes what you're going to do to your input. Well, okay, I think, well, maybe, okay, that one doesn't work. Multiplying by 7 doesn't work. Maybe I'm going to add 11 because if my input is 1, I get 12. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take whatever my input is and I'm going to add 11 and that gives me my output. Okay, let's try it for 1. When my figure is 1, again, your figure is your input, I'm going to add 11 and I get 12 units. Boom, I got it. I did it correctly. Hold on though. This model should work for all of your figure numbers because your input can be anything. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20, 100. Whatever your input is, whatever you do to it, you should come up with an output that makes sense, the perimeter. So let's try it for an input of figure number 2. If I do 2 plus 11, I get 13 units. Unfortunately, that is not the output when my input is 2. So this is also incorrect. So as you can see, I'm doing trial and error, trying to logically figure out what would be the correct model for my perimeter. So with your teammates, or if you're in workshop, you can get help on this, or by yourself, try to figure out a model, find an equation that would model the output, which is your perimeter, given some input, your figure number, given any input, sorry. So this is a little challenging, but I encourage you to guess and check, try to see what's going on with the pattern in your table. Like I said, this may not be the design you used. You may have used the other designs. There are 5 other designs there. But whatever design you use, go ahead and try to find a model for that design's perimeter when you plug in a figure number. So try this. You can do all your work in your notebook, and you can go ahead and take a picture of your equation, screenshot it, and then upload it on Dreamseedoo when you're finished.